Back in action. This is game number 2 in the first best of 3 of the day. This is the round of 8. As we get further into today, do keep in mind, guys, we'll be casting 4 best of 3s, 2 best of 5s. I actually don't remember if we made the third place match best of 5 or best of 3, but also a best of 7 grand finals. So we got about 10-ish matches to play today. Sit tight, we got a lot of StarCraft for you. But getting into game number 2, spawning on the left-hand side of Catalina is going to be the red Terran player. Recently joined Ro8 Gaming, Supernova.
In the upper rightish, as the blue Zerg, it is Star to Ill's life.
Okay, so I think one of the big things to analyze the game was, of course, the choice to go for 2 racks. I think opening 2 racks, quite frankly, is a great idea. Cheese in general, you always hear me praise it in the first game of a best of 3. Because sometimes, if you can win off the back end of that, it really puts your opponent defensive in game 2. There's very few players, save a few Koreans, who will lose to some cheese and then come back game 2 without defending themselves, without being a little bit more safe with their builds. So that could have been the leeway Supernova was really hoping for, but coming up against a player like Startail Life, I mean, at the same time, you can make the argument always just doing it because he can't play the macro game, to which I would disagree, because Supernova can do some really fantastic things.
Well, so far in this tournament, Supernova is 2 out of 3. No, he's only won 1 of his 2 racks games now, so out of the 3 that I think he did. So not the greatest stats in the world, but I do agree with you. I like cheese as an opener. I never do it because I'm a little baby, but I think it's like a way to, you know, try and command the game. Like, even if you lose, they're not sure what to expect no matter what. And actually, Supernova, he's gonna get this Overlord. That's not a Reaper. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm surprised Life went so ballsy like this too, because I mean, it's kind of coming to that point where, okay, yeah, you expect a Reaper most of the time, but you never really want to dive in here anymore. There was a good 2-month period where you could do it safely with an Overlord, because there was always 1 Reaper, 2 Reaper, in most cases 3 Reaper openers. Oh my god, that thing's so close to getting away, but it's not going to. Rest in peace, First Blood!
That was quite a severe supply block. I've never seen a 17 out of 10 supply, or not very often, I should say. Supernova doing something interesting. I think he's going to go for 2 Reapers after this, so he opened it specifically to try and get an Overlord, and then you get the 2 Reapers anyways with the reactor. I think.
Well, I mean, he might just go Marine heavy. I mean, it's not
he's
a bad
definitely
idea either.
The Marines should not be coming out of there. It should be for the factory, if nothing else. Okay, so it's probably going to be more Marines. You're right. 2 more Marines and then swap over. Right,
and here's why I'm thinking Marines in this case. I mean, I'm happy to be wrong, of course, but he just got a really free Overlord kill. He knows Life's other Overlords are going to be having to come out to scout, but they're also going to be slowly further behind. So he's either going to be really, really defensive with these, or he might get super really bold and send 2 or 4 out to hunt for more Overlords. Which, and let's be honest, guys, we've seen some players pick off like 3 to 4 Overlords in the early game. Some guys just have that 6-star sense.
Yeah. That's true. And also, if he's not going to go for Overlord hunting, he could use it later if he does a Hellbat push, for instance, or any type of push. We've been seeing a lot of people just take as many Marines as they have, whether it's 2, 4, or 6, and go along the map with their Hellions, their Hellbats, and their Banshee. It adds that just right amount of damage sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Marines, the reason they don't contend well with Queens, guys, is because in low numbers, Queens just have so much HP. But if you got a lot of Marines, or if you got a Hellbat to buffer for a fewer amount of Marines, then suddenly your Marines' DPS is still pretty darn good. And his metabolic boost is finishing up, and Life is once more taking a bit of a, I wouldn't say a fast third, but a faster third. Of course, everything he does goes unscouted and unhindered, so I mean, quite frankly, he could take 5 bases right now, and Supernova wouldn't really know.
I was oohing because the last time we saw Life on this map, I believe that's when he Nidus wormed.
Oh, that's right, taking advantage of the dead space in Catalina.
Who did he Nidus? Journey. Yeah, he Nidus Journey, that's right, yeah. And there's still a lot of dead space. I really don't know why. I mean, I put supply depots everywhere. Usually you can't because you're walling off. That's why supply depots don't go anywhere else besides the wall. And since Life did get a 3rd hatchery, it might not be timed up where the supply depots are still going at the wall. Yeah, Supernova is actually building his 3rd command center in the dead space, so okay. No opportunity there for Life. Or not. No, he's not. Just kidding.
Oh, man, here comes the armory. So, Regardless of what life is currently doing, it is. I mean, I can still potentially see it. You know, if it's an advantage, you take care of it. A Nidus Swarm is actually not the most expensive thing in the world. It does suck because it is an investment, but if you're just dumping roaches into your opponent's base for a quick win, possibly could happen. But right now, Supernova is gearing up for a pretty heavy, not heavy, but I should say earlier Hellbat hit. This could be a bit awkward because, of course, if you're busy sending all your roaches across the map, then you've got nothing at home to stop the Hellbats, and Hellbats, not something you can really ignore.
How do you get the Viking to kill all these overlords? Get the one that's near your base. I feel like that's
right.
smart.
I know. Like, you think the first rally would be like check immediately around your base, then go around the map, but this does supply block life, albeit very temporarily. And it is gonna be a nice one.
It is a Nidus Worm. What? Okay, so Supernova is really gonna regret not building his third command center, or anything actually. He hasn't even built the third command center yet in the dead space like I thought he was. I mean, his SCV literally went to the dead space, and I was like, oh, okay, this is smart. Nothing was built. Whoops-a-daisy.
You know, it's
Ooh.
It's funny because right now I'm looking at this, and you're right. This dead space. If Supernova had seen any of Life's games, like, this is the first thing I would have looked for, right? But a drop goes off, and a Nidus Swarm's still good if all the roaches have to stay at home to defend. He picks off one of the queens. Hellbat's gearing up to possibly hit the third. I mean, he is gonna be pressed to defend. He doesn't see this. Oh, he just. If that SCV was on the bottom right of the command center?
If the command center was finished, for sure, I would see it.
How many roaches are even coming out of this, though? I mean, there's 14 in total.
And lings, and maybe some queens. There goes the sound. He knows where it is. He has a couple of marines, and he does have a banshee about to pop out. So if no queens accompany this, eventually he will be able to clean it up. But you know,
the Hellion drops in the main, so he's gonna be trading workers for workers, and looks like he's okay with that. With the queens coming, there's actually nothing to stop the Hellions back at home. Drones being pulled into Hellbat transformations. This is going to be an awkward trade, guys. I don't think this should be game ending, but it might just be if he can't get enough damage back at Life's base.
I think this is game over for Supernova.
He's losing a lot of SCVs. Sadly, doesn't. I mean, the one Banshee, it would love to go pick off the Nidus Swarm to stop reinforcements, right? But it doesn't have Cloak. There we go, Queen's coming. GG. Oh, Life. Gonna take a pretty quick 2-0.